Welcome back guys, this is Vishu from SavageCamp and today we are going to look at some of the basic commands that you should know as a Linux engineer. So we are going to start with absolute basics. So I'm going to assume you do not know anything about Linux. All you have done is created this droplet on DigitalOcean and you have logged in looking at the SSH configuration that I did in the last video. So now the first command we are going to run is called man. So man, if you run, it will ask you what manual page do you want. So man is like a dictionary. So man stands for manual and it is like a dictionary. So if you have any command, like if I tell you, hey, try running ls command and you are like, what is ls? So you can do a man space ls. So ls stands for list directories, and here you're going to see all the available options with this command, and you can see that there are a lot of them, so you should know what you're using. We will call this as a switch. I think it is called switch. When I was learning, we used to call this options as a switch. So if I do an ls, it is going to give me one file. It is going to list out the directories. But if I do ls space -l, so I'm putting a -l switch, this is going to give me the same file with more information. So here I'm seeing when this file was created, I'm seeing who owns it, and then I'm seeing the permissions. So forget about this right now. I'm going to make a separate video on permissions, but ls -l, like passing the -l switch, is going to list everything with more details. Now, what if I tell you what is in this file? So to see contents of a file, you can do a cat, and then let's see what cat stands for. So to find any information, again use the manual. So man cat, it says concatenate files and prints on the standard output. Standard output, for now, just imagine this console as your standard output. To exit from a man page, you press Q. You will see it over here. So Q, exit. So if I do cat original ks.cfg, and if you did not know how this came up, you can type O and then press a tab, and it is going to autofill the whole thing for you. So I'm pressing a tab and it is autofilling this file, because that is the only option starting with O, which is actually the only option in that directory. So if I hit enter, you will see the contents of this file. Now don't try to understand what is written over here. It doesn't matter right now. Just know cat will tell you what is inside this file. To clear the screen, just write clear and hit enter. It will clear the screen. To get your host name, like the name of your machine, you put host name. This is going to show you the host name of your machine that you're logged in. And what else do we have? So I can show you touch. Touch usually means create an empty file. So earlier we only had one file. If I do an ls now, you can see Vishu as a file. If I do ls -l, you will see this Vishu was created with different permissions because it was created just now. But that is how you create a file, touch. And if you want to put something in it, you can do echo. So if I do echo Vishu, it is going to print this out in this console. So it printed this out. But if I want to put this inside a file, I will direct this inside Vishu. So what I'm telling is print out echo, but instead of printing it out in the console like this, direct the output of this command, which is printing it out, into this file. So it did not print it out right now, but if I do a cat on Vishu, I press the tab again, you will see that this went inside the file. Now if I do pwd, it stands for path of working directory. So I am in root, and then if I want to go somewhere else, I can do cd to change directory. So cd /temp, and if I do a pwd, you will see I am in /temp. If I want to go back a directory up, so from wherever temp is, go back one directory, I will do a cd space double dot. Double dot will take me one directory up. So I am now in slash. So earlier I was in /temp. Coming back, I'm back in slash. And then if I go to /root, I will be in root. So this is how you change directories. And to create a directory, it's just dir1 mkdir, which stands for make directory. So if I do an ls now, you will see dir1 is in a new color because it's a directory, and ls -l will give you a d at the beginning to tell you this file is actually a directory. So I think this is enough for today. We kind of did a lot of things. So let me clear the screen, and if I run the history command, it is going to tell us we looked at uptime. Actually, we did not look at uptime. Uptime will just give you how long this machine has been up for. So uptime has been 11 minutes, and load average, just forget about this. There's only one user in this machine right now. So we saw man, which is the manual. We saw ls, which is the list. We saw ls -l to list with details. We saw cat, which is concatenate the file into the output, which is basically checking the contents of the file. We saw hostname. We saw the touch command, which is to create a file. Echo is to print out a word or some character, and then we did echo on Vishu and put it into the file that we created. And pwd will give you the path of working directory. cd is change directory. cd double dot is go directory back, and mkdir is make directory. So now you might be thinking this is too much. You might be thinking that there are so many commands, like how are you going to remember all of this? Now you don't need to by heart everything. This is all going to come to you with practice. If you do this every day, your brain is going to start picking things up. The main commands you should know is pwd for path of working directory to see where you are, make directory, touch, ls, and cat, because we are going to see the contents of the file. So these are like very basics, very basics. This is new, so it might look very difficult, but it is really not. Once you start doing more and more things, this will stick to your brain. So I think this is it for today's video, guys. Tomorrow we'll look into more commands that we are going to use every day. But that's it for today's video, guys, and I will see you guys in the next one.